Okay, so, right off the bat, I'm gonna call you all a bunch of knobheads. Every single one of you. Every single one of you that has ever criticised or cast shade at our beloved Kathleen Kennedy. So, if you're a bit behind the times, or maybe just a bit slow, there has been a shitload of criticism of Kathleen Kennedy for the way she's run Lucasfilm since she took over from old Georgie Weirdy Beard. Basically amounting to accusations that she's fucked up and totally destroyed every single aspect of what made George Lucas's classic films so fucking great. And this is why you're all a bunch of knobheads. Because Kathleen Kennedy, despite all appearances, is not in the middle of some deeply psychotic mental breakdown, obsessed and consumed with destroying all the great works of art that came before her, like fucking ISIS or something. No, not at all. The truth is, in fact, the complete opposite of that. The truth is, despite all the shit that's said about her on the internet, Kathleen Kennedy is, in fact, the most loyal exponent of George Lucas's vision and the most dedicated defender of his works. And she is honouring the man in the most noble and honourable manner that's possible. Because let's be honest, the Star Wars prequels and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull were all shit. And I don't mean shit like a little bit of bird shit on your shoulder. I mean shit like a tsunami of shite washing over a fucking sewerage station or something. I mean shite like the biggest pile of steaming shit you've ever seen in your life. I mean these movies were so bad people were throwing themselves from the fucking balconies in the movie theatres just to avoid having to watch their treasured movie icons being destroyed in front of their eyes. Or maybe it was me throwing them from the balconies, I can't remember. But anyway, George Lucas did such a fucking atrociously bad job at bringing back his classic movies from the past that basically he had to go and quit Hollywood altogether and handed it all over to Kathleen Kennedy. And this is why I love Kathleen Kennedy. Because she wasn't going to let George go out like that. Not after he gave us the original Star Wars and Indiana Jones trilogies. And so, like a true fucking hero, she threw herself on her sword and started making some of the shittest movies that the world has ever seen. Taking all the slings and arrows of criticism from internet jerks, intent on making movies so unimaginably shit that they actually managed to make the prequels look good. Because let's be honest, there's not a single one of us who had our eyes scorched out by the horrendous display that was the prequels in Crystal Skull that ever thought that these movies could get any worse. And then along comes Kathleen Kennedy with some of the shittest movies ever committed to film. I mean, she took bad idea after bad idea and rolled them all up together and then flushed them down the fucking toilet. I mean, she threw gutter ball after gutter ball, brick after brick, making some of the worst possible production decisions you could possibly ever make, just to protect the legacy and reputation of the great man George Lucas. Now that's the kind of loyalty and fucking dedication that you just can't buy. I mean, this woman deserves a fucking medal more than Chewie ever did. She is willing to sacrifice her entire lifelong career just to make George Lucas's last films look just a tiny little bit less shit. Now that is a fucking trooper. That is a fucking soldier. And I don't give a fuck what any of you say about Kathleen Kennedy on the internet. She is a true fucking hero. I mean, either that or she's a deeply embittered neurotic mess with more baggage than an international airport. But I ain't no fucking psychologist, so I'm gonna go with she's a great hero instead. Stupid fucking movie maker.